Welcome to Thank You Next, where we talk about everything dating. I mean, past, present, what you hope to have in the future. But before we can talk about the future, we gotta first prevent our past from rehabbing again. So I'm here to talk about all your crazy stories. And I mean the good ones, the bad ones, the indifferent ones, and your true experience dating in 2023. Okay. And so we have our special guest, our first guest for the new show. We have Big and not the little Leak. Hello, y'all give it a shout out for Big Leak. Hello, Big, not the little Leak. Hello, thank you, baby. Welcome,
Hello,
welcome.
big league,
Welcome.
not the little one.
Oh, yes. Make sure y'all favorite. Make sure you favorite, and check out what she is doing in her stream. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, so pretty much I'm 31. I just had a birthday on the 23rd of February, period. And I'm a Pisces. So sometimes, I've had people tell me I'm a bit intimidating. So I just have to, sometimes I try to simmer myself down. But for the most part, I'm me. You know what I'm saying? You got to take it for what it is, take it or leave it.
I love that. I love that. Okay, and so do you stream and how long you been streaming?
Okay, so I actually just started streaming. I've been on POF since 2017, but I didn't actually start streaming until like a month ago.
Okay. Okay. And how
hmm
do you like it so far?
It's straight. It's straight. It got its ups and its downs. And then sometimes, I have to take a break and, clear my mind because it be so much going on into these lives most days. So you be like, okay, let me make sure that this is what I really want to do before I jump head into it.
Right, because you got to make sure your energy is together before you jump into it. Kind of like with dating, you got to make sure that you good mentally before you jump into it. So y'all don't be jumping out here unhealed and being somebody else's toxic problem.
That's right
Okay.
too. Because the thing is, and then a lot of times it's like it's not even necessarily that you're not healed. You know what I'm saying? Because me, like, I feel like the last relationship I had really was like a
Mhm.
situationship
Mm.
because
Tell us why you say that.
like literally the nigga I one thing about me when I love somebody I love hard, but it felt like the energy that I was giving it wasn't being reciprocated. And it's like, yes, he telling me, "Oh, I'm not really an affectionate person or whatever the case is." And I'm like, "Okay, at the end of the day, whether you affectionate or not, I don't really care." You know what I'm saying? But you have to show some type of something. Like it's all about making compromises and knowing when to fold and when to hold because I'm not going to it's like I can only give you so much time. And to be completely honest, I was able to drag it as long as I was because I have a disabled baby and he learned everything there was to learn about my baby.
Mm.
You see what I'm saying? So that made it like 10 times harder for me to just cut all the time. And
Right.
then it got to a point where now it's just like, okay, you been in my baby life since he was 2. So now you on like a co-parent role. But like I tell him, you have to know your boundaries. Because when I
Yeah.
have my company and I'm doing certain things and you're calling my phone, it don't look right. Hey
Mm.
Scorpio. And I'm just like, at the end of the day, I can sit here all day and tell you a million things that you've done wrong to me. You know what I'm saying? Because literally it's a whole list, like to the point where it was like, okay, I started seeing myself changing for the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
Because, prime example, he's vegan, okay?
Hmm.
And it was like the first 2 years that we started talking to each other, I tried it out. I was like, you know what? Let me just try it out. Let me see how it go. I tried it out. I liked it. I lost 140 pounds. Easy. Boom. You know what I'm saying? And
Hmm.
I wasn't tripping. But so the further along that it got into the relationship, it's like he started being very controlling and narcissistic about a lot of shit. To the point
Mm.
where if he did something and I addressed it, he would try to make it seem like it was my fault instead of accepting that he did some bullshit and you know what I'm saying, we moved past it. So then it got to a point where literally I am I am just so, it got to a point where I was just like, you know what? This is crazy. I'm not about to keep allowing you to drag me because that's what you were doing. You were dragging me.
Mm-hmm.
And even throughout all the BS, it's like every year for your birthday, I got you something. And I made sure my gifts, I'm extra. So everything was extra. And
Right. You put
yeah,
an effort. So when you say extra, I just want to know, let people know in the back what you mean by that is effort. Right. So you put in extra effort. So to give the extra mile because you know it will make a difference.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it came down to my birthday and everything you did was like mediocre. So I'm just
Mm.
like, okay, now you at a point, now I'm at a point where I feel like, okay, everything now is like the bare minimum. You doing the bare minimum
So
just to hold on to something. So when
right.
it,
So when they do the bare minimum, does that make you feel like they feel like you or does that make you feel like you question how they view your worth? Like after all this time that you've invested in each other and you're applying effort, and then they're not applying the same like their best
yes,
effort. It doesn't have to be the
yes,
same effort, but their
but the
best effort.
energy is off. Like you can tell when somebody's energy is off because it's like when you're around a
Yeah,
person, depending on how much time y'all actually spend around each other. And at the time, I mean, this fool, we was living together. So
yeah,
it's like you leave, you will stay gone for hours, sometimes days. And I'm just like, what's up? That's weird energy for me. Where did you go? And then there was one
mm,
time where literally you whole life disrespected me. Like I'm talking about if I had a did something to you, like if it wasn't for the fact that I knew I had my son, I probably would
mm.
have went to jail. That's just how
Ooh, no,
bad that
stay
situation.
out, stay out of jail. I'm telling you, I gotta got
Yo,
they
that's how
stay
bad
out.
that
Don't click
situation
click.
was. Yeah.
Right. Don't let them get you click click because I
What?
have to tell you, they don't try to take you there. Don't let them get you click click now. They will try to take you there. Don't give into it.
And so I had to really think about my son because I'm just like, this is a bunch of bull. Like, mm. I'm like, every
Yes.
time you turn
Okay.
around, you I'm extending and I'm doing and I'm, you know what I'm saying, making sure my man is good because that's what I do. But then when it got to a point where I felt like it was more of a take and take and nothing was being given, I'm just like, okay, now you are manipulating a certain situation. And sometimes, you know, us as women, we tend to have this veil over our eyes, like we don't see what we supposed to see because we don't want to see it. And I felt like that's the place I was in at one point. It was just like, okay, I was just letting stuff slide, 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 slide. And then after a while,
Right.
I'm just like, okay, you're better than that. You know your worth. It's time to move around. I ain't gonna keep dragging nothing that ain't worth dragging. And I'm definitely
Yeah.
gonna let you drag me. So I'm good. You stay in your lane and I'm gonna stay in mine.
Yeah. Absolutely. Okay. And so now, with that being said, I know that was one of your previous relationship
Hmm.
experiences, right? And so now, as far as dating, not a relationship, but you out here in these streets and you dating, and you gonna encounter the weirdest of the weird. The weirdest of the weird. But not all of them are weird. So have you had but you know some of them are. So
But
have you mhm.
I have like over the years, not even just this year, but just in general, like I've had a bunch of weird like friendships that was trying to
Mm,
possibly be relationships and it just wasn't. Cause dating, it's a job. Like when you trying to
absolutely.
get into that dating field, it is definitely a job because you sit around here, you up here like, man, I want to date. But then you like, I like being single. Cause it's like you
Right.
don't have to, it's a lot of things that you don't gotta worry about. Like it's a lot of things you don't have to be cautious about. But when you're in that dating phase, you have to be cautious. Like you have to be mindful of the things you say, the things you do, because it do affect other people. And regardless if
Fact.
y'all in a friend phase or not, and that be the biggest thing. It's like you got a lot of women out here that's like, okay, I'm in my dating phase. True. Now, I'm the type of person, I'm very transparent about what it is that I want. So I tell a nigga quick. I'm like, listen, I eat coochie and I, you know what I'm saying? And I like penis. So it's a two-way street. But that's where my problem come in at, because niggas be like, oh, you gonna leave me for a woman, or you know what I'm saying? I'm just like, nigga, listen.
Right, we gonna refrain from cursing just for recording. But yeah, I'm with you.
But yeah, so I'm just like, you can sit around here and I could tell you a million ways on how to avoid situations or whatever the case is. But if you not who you say you is, it ain't gonna work no way. And that's what it
That's
is.
a
People go into stuff and they be phony.
mm-hmm. And or let's so being more specific. So sometimes people go into relationships or go into situationships, um, hopeful that they can be what you need, but knowing that they can't. Right? Because they want you, they want access to you, they want to be with you, but they know they are not ready. They're not where they need to be what you want them to be, what you need, but they want you so bad that they will try. So sometimes people confuse who they want to be and what they want to be ready for compared to what they actually are ready for. Would you say that you've been a victim of that experience?
Um, Not, I guess you could say that, but not really. It just
Mm-hmm.
depends on what's going on, like within the friendship. Like depending on the extent of that friendship will determine how you move. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because sometimes like you'll do something or you'll want something so bad so you'll mess it up.
Mm.
And
Right.
and that's why it go back into me when I was talking about earlier. You got a lot of women that don't hold themselves accountable for a lot of things. And even though you're in your dating phase, you still have to be respectful because, certain things be brought to my attention. And when you in that single life, you don't be thinking about stuff like that. You just be thinking about you. You're not thinking about the other person and how it would affect them. You know what I'm saying? So even if you talking to one person and you got somebody else you're talking to too, you got to be honest with the both of them so that they can decide, because it's a two-way street. It's not a one-way road. People love to holler about, oh, they're not honest, and men don't do this and but what are you doing as the woman? Are you giving the same honesty, or are you just expecting him to give everything that you want and you not do nothing else?
Right. And so now, okay, so now I wanted to know. So, do you have you had any experiences like really good dates, like somebody take you on a really nice date, an excursion or a situation, and you like, okay, I see the effort, and it doesn't have to be a lot. It could for real. You can make effort look expensive and cost nothing, right? And because it just makes somebody feel good, it makes you feel expensive. So describe a
Mm-hmm.
time that you went on a date and how did it make you feel? And that it was a good date, like it was a really
Okay.
good date. You left feeling really good about it. And what did you guys do?
Okay. So this was like years ago. This was probably really before I even had my son. But
Mhm.
I went on a real good date. Like the guy was a gentleman. Like he opened my door. And it's crazy because I don't know if it was because I was so young that I was not mentally ready for what he was bringing. Because when I say he was a gentleman, like he was a straight gentleman. Like he opened my door, he paid for our stuff. When we went to the movies, like left the movies when it got dessert. Like it was cute. You know what I'm saying? It was like one of them cute, corny type moments where you like, okay, I see you. You know what I'm saying? You definitely trying to do what you need to do to try to make me feel good about me. And that's my biggest thing is effort. Like, you gotta make an effort. Hey baby girl, if you're not making no effort, you're not doing nothing. Like
Right.
I'm a fun girl. So I like to have fun. So it's just like, yes, I like going somewhere. And it's crazy because I'll go ice skating knowing I don't know how to ice skate. But it's the thought of somebody being right there to catch you when you fall. Like, you know what I'm saying? That moment is nothing else.
Like, was it the conversation? Was it the
You
vibe?
can you can tell that, yeah, you could tell that he was in a household for sure.
Mm.
And I say that not to like even offend anybody, but I say that
Right.
because you got a lot of men that are raised by just their moms. And it's like because you was only raised by your mama, you a mama boy. Like you so close to the point where it's like anything you say or do, like it ventures back to, oh well, my mama. Okay, but you how old? Keep talking about your mama. You don't even live with your mama no more, but we still talk about your mama.
Like, why are
Mm-mm.
we talking about your mama?
You know what I'm saying? Like, let's do something different, please. Because clearly this isn't working for me or you.
Right. Okay. And so y'all, and welcome again to Thank You Next. Okay. And so this is the first episode of Thank You Next. And we have special guest, um, our special guest, Big Leak. Okay, not the little one. Okay. So if you are just now joining us, welcome. Take a seat, pull up, and get used to us because we're here every Saturday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you would like to be on the show, go ahead and message me on IG. Let me know you want to be on the show and come be a guest. Okay. This is Big Leak. Make sure you hit her with the fave. She just started
Period. Big
streaming.
lead,
So you
not the
want
little
her.
one.
Absolutely. So you want to shout it out. We were working to get this show, up and running. So it's going to be a consistent thing that you can expect every Saturday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And it's a whole vibe because who hasn't been dating? Oh my goodness. Oh, it's hard out here. It's hard. It's hard. It's hard. It's hard.
For sure.
Right. So
Especially
now
when
we
you just now hopping back out there. Like even now, I'm in my dating phase and I still make mistakes. You know what I'm saying? But like, okay, prime example. I was literally in another setting the other day and this guy brought to my attention. He was just like, yo, you're very intimidating. And I'm like, I get this a lot, but at the same time, it's not even intentional. This is just who I am.
right.
And I feel like it's gonna take a different type of male figure to even be able to understand me, take me on, whatever you choose to do, because I'm just different and I have a very high energy. Like I talk to everybody.
Right.
Like I am that person. Like people be like, dang, Lee, because I had a friend of mine ask me one time, we had went to like Piedmont Park or something. She like, just talk to random people. I said, because
Because
it's
what?
so
I'm sorry,
super
you.
easy.
Mm-hmm.
I said,
Y'all, we're going through some technical difficulties, but wait till she come back. Wait till she come back. She's gonna be right back. But make sure you favorite. Obviously, the gifter is Big Leak. Make sure you hit her with the favorite. She's the only gifter up there. Make sure you hit her with the favorite. And then also, if you don't have me fave, take this as an opportunity to have me fave now and fave my admin Harley. Harley wave in the comments. All right.
yes,
Oh.
baby. I am loving them nails.
Thank you. And so,
I am loving them
yeah,
nails.
yeah. So if message if you want to be on the show, it's new, so we picking it up. We gonna get things started. So stay tuned with us, but be active on the show. We Big Lee just gave us a recap. Big Lee talked about her previous relationship and how hard it can be to break away from a relationship that you get comfortable, you guys know each other, and you kind of in a way you co-parent, right? And then that makes it more difficult to really go after what you know you deserve compared to what you know you have, right? And then she also expressed a really good date, you know what I'm saying, a good dating experience that she encountered. So because it's not all rough. Sometimes we do have sunshine, but now in this dating world, she said she got some weird dates. You ever had a weird first date, or like, or you mean like you were getting to know them and they got weird, or like, or have you ever had like
No,
a
like, okay,
bad
you know
first date,
how
like?
nah, like you know how you meet somebody and you be like, dang, okay, I think we gonna vibe. It's gonna be good energy. And then as soon as they start talking, you just be like, please just be quiet. Cause I would never forget. I just like, y'all, literally, I'm working at the airport and it was this guy. And he used to always like be flirting with me and all type of stuff. And I always thought he was a handsome guy. So one day, girl, he started talking. And when he started talking, he sounded like he was a little, thrown off. And I was like, you all right? You good? So one day, this man literally went to Instagram and found me and started sending me messages on Instagram. So I'm like, okay, it's getting a little weird. Like, what's up with you? And so he broke it down that he ended up with a TBI. So then it explained why he spoke the way he did. Like, he kind of talked like he had a list, but it was the worst list that you could possibly think of. So anytime he was talking, I'm just like, no, just be quiet and just let me look at you. Don't even talk. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and right. That's just how it was. But and then it was another instance where this guy literally tall, light skin, everything that you could think, like handsome. But he was so weird to the point where literally I had just started maybe talking to him. We had probably only been talking to each other for maybe about 3 months. Or maybe even 4 or 5 months or something like that. And he gonna have the audacity to ask me, talk about if we was to ever get married, could he be a stay-at-home dad? And I'm like, how you go from talking about relationship stuff to talking about you want to be a stay-at-home dad? Like, what, bro?
If you don't want to work, just say that.
Just
if
say
you
that.
Want to be lazy, just say that. Like, if you don't want to be the man,
just say that.
Just say that.
If you're not trying to pay no bills and you want to be a bum on my couch, just say that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
if you want to be a hobo, just say that. But we ain't gonna disrespect that whole, that's a whole thing. It's in itself. Yeah, but we ain't gonna do that. We ain't gonna be weird to them today.
Not today.
So we can talk about. We can real kiki about that. Woo, girl. But
listen, for real.
Right.
And yeah, like so crazy. Because for some odd reason, I attract a lot of older men. And I'm like, after you've passed age 41, it's nothing left for us to talk about. Like, I am 31. I am not talking to nobody over 41 years old. Like, at that point, you're old enough to be my daddy, my great granddaddy, and some more stuff. I'm good. Like, I'm extra good on those. Like, sir. Get somebody else to do it.
Right, because get somebody else to do it. Because when you are the thoughtful, the kind, the considerate, the you know what I'm saying, that one, the strong one, people think that you always want to be that. People forget that sometimes you don't want to be strong. You want to feel comfortable. You want to feel safe. You want somebody else to take the reins. So I feel like in that way he was already started wrong, because he didn't even see what kind of partnership you were looking for before he already tried to make himself
be an absentee role.
Right.
And I'm just like, and in my mind, I'm like, who are you fathering? Because unless you're gonna be at home taking care of my disabled baby, what are you talking about? Like, what are we really talking about here? And then it was like, we literally 5-6 months into the friendship, and you talking about being a stay-at-home dad. At that moment, that was a red flag for me, because it's like, okay, I didn't have no conversations about you being a stay-at-home mom. So why would you think it's okay for you to be a stay-at-home dad?
Right.
Like, where down that line in your membrane did I give off that persona that I was okay with that?
Right.
Like, because bro, what? And I'm just like, that's crazy. Like, it didn't even make no sense to me. And I'm like, I've never been in a situation to where I had to deal with something like that, because that was weird. Like, it was so weird to the point I was just like, wait a minute. Did you really just ask me that, sir? Like,
what?
What? No, sir. No ma'am, no ham, no turkey. Okay. I'm
Right. Because
good.
you forgot the cheese. Literally, you not trying to work. You're not trying to work. You forgot the cheese. What they say all
Mm-mm.
about the Benjamin? What? Wait a minute. Cause where?
I'm gonna hit him
Cause
with the
it's not
go
even about
home,
being all about the
Roger.
Benjamin. But here's the thing. A lot of people are too quick to define what like whose role is who's in the relationship before the relationship even begins because I need you to give what I am lacking, to lead where I follow. Like we got to play off of each other's strengths. And how do we do that until we get to know who we are by equally contributing to the relationship and figuring out with time who plays what role, but ultimately giving our best. He wasn't even willing to try that. He already had it made up in his mind that he was going to misuse you. Because who leads with wanting to be a stay-at-home dad if that's not the circumstances they're put in? And not saying that a real man can be a stay-at-home dad, they can. But that's because that's the circumstance they put in to make sure that it's what the family needs support wise. Maybe the wife has a job or a career field that she's just getting started that she needs to focus on. And you do have a disabled child or you have a child with needs or however, or childcare is expensive and dangerous. So it just makes sense for one of you financially to be home with the child.
Stay at
But that's
home.
to support the relationship and the marriage that you've invested the work in, not because you want to be absentee to working. Like this new way of being a man where you can cop out or you can opt out to your responsibilities is distasteful. Let me ask you, because now you're in the dating world, how do you feel when you go on a date with a man or even a woman, when you go on a date, because I don't want to just put you in a box, but when you go on a date and they want to go Dutch, what instantly pops in your head? Are you comfortable with it? Are you good with it? How do you feel about it?
It's funny because I had a whole debate in my live one day about that because I think it's like this. If I because I'm the type of person like if we're going on a date, I expect you to at least pay for the food, like pay for our date. Like you asked me on a date, why not pay for it? It don't make
Right.
sense. Cause that's just like vice versa. If I ask for you to go out somewhere with me, I'm expecting to cover the cost of whatever it is that we're buying because I invited you out.
Right.
But when you invite somebody somewhere, the whole thing is for you to, you know what I'm saying? But when it comes to the situation of Dutch, because I've been in a situation like that where that person was just like, well, I think, you should pay for your stuff and I should pay for mine. But when it comes to the aspect of that, I think that that's weird energy. Unless it's a point where we're like 2 or 3 weeks into our friendship or something like that, and we're still getting to know each other, then yeah, okay, you need to pay for your stuff and I pay for mine. But if we already months into the friendship and you still on that weird energy of wanting to go Dutch, somewhere down the line is telling me that you broke.
Mm.
It's giving very much you have small money energy. Like, cause it's like you don't want to pay for nothing never. Like, what's up? Like, what's going on?
Absolutely. Because if you don't, if you don't want to pay for anything ever, then yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. So now, I mean, obviously you gonna pay for your food because you gonna make sure that you're good, and then after that, um, after you pay for your food, now and you leave the date, are you going to date them again? Would you go back? Or have you been on a date that went Dutch and then you went out with them again, like hoping that it was a better situation? Or
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. And the only reason is because they had some very like feminine ways, and it kind of put me in a mind state that they like men.
mm,
So I was just like, not only did I have to pay for my own food, but you also are giving me like
But
very
not
much
like
gay
out in
man
the like
vibes.
not out in the open. You like in the corner,
Cause
you
like he
trying to
just,
find yourself.
cause like he kept just like, yeah, like he kept throwing his hair and like flank, like, and his walk was like just as flamboyant as mine. And I'm
Oh,
looking like, am I tripping?
like now
At
we on
first,
the
I'm like, am
runway
I
together.
drunk?
Okay,
Because whoa,
right. And
yeah,
that's
I'm
nothing.
like,
There's nothing wrong
wow.
with that. Because right, because if you dating a man and you want him to be a strong masculine, presence in your life, then there's nothing wrong with having a type, right? There's nothing wrong with that. And now, and so him sashaying a little bit more than you would definitely throw one or two off. I can understand that. I would definitely understand that. Okay, and
And I
so.
literally, I the next that same night, I had went to the dollar store by my house, and I
Mm-hmm,
asked one of my friends that work in the store because he's gay. I said,
mm-hmm.
yo, I said, what do you think about this person? And I showed him the picture, and he was like, he's sus. He definitely looked like he's swinging, like he in the closet about something.
Oh,
And I'm
okay.
just like, yeah, green, yeah, red flag for sure. Gemini,
Yes, 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 yes. Okay, and so now welcome, welcome, welcome. If you're just now joining us, you're just now getting here, don't worry. We just kind of getting into it. But more importantly, we are recording, so this will be uploaded to my YouTube channel. If you don't already have us follow, like, and subscribe, make sure that you go ahead and
I
take the
know.
opportunity to do that, to follow, like, and subscribe to us on YouTube. The link to my YouTube channel is in my bio, so scroll all the way down and you're gonna find us. So take the opportunity to subscribe. Right now we have our special guest, our first guest for the new show, Big Lee, not the little one. Make sure I have to keep that right.
Not the
Big
little
Lee,
one.
and she's new to streaming on this POF Meet Me. Well, which platform do you stream on? I know they're all connected,
I'm
but
on
which one?
POF.
Okay, so she streams on POF,
I'm on
and
POF.
they're all connected. So if you're on POF, Meet Me, Scout, Zeus, okay, Cupid, you can search her, Big Leak, not the little one, all lowercase, all right? And make sure you hit her with a favorite. She's really good energy, but she's sharing her personal story and experience with dating in this day and age and what she's been through, the good, the bad, the ugly, or the suspect. Because that's what we were just talking about just a minute ago. We were talking about the suspect. And
Mhm.
just to talk about that, um, and so like I will say that we some of us have been a victim of people not knowing who they are and what they want to be before they get with you or me. And I can
Mhm.
understand if it's an innocent thing, if you didn't intentionally do it, but it's different if you're on the down low and you're fighting who you know you are and you dragging somebody along with you, or you're pretending to live one life but really living another life in the
And
dark,
you live in a whole
and you
nother one.
dragging somebody
Mhm.
along with you. That is never okay and never acceptable. All parties have to consent to, you know what I'm saying, to being with someone and knowing who you are. And if you're with other people or other partners, it the honesty is a requirement, it's the minimum.
And accountability.
Accountability,
Accountability
absolutely.
is the biggest thing.
Right. And because people
Man,
deserve to
that be
know.
my biggest issue. Hmm. That's the biggest
Right.
issue. People don't hold themselves accountable enough. Us as humans, not even just men or women, humans in general. You have to hold yourself accountable because the thing is, you got people out here that's literally holding grudges over stuff because people wasn't held accountable for their actions. And it's like, trust and believe me, they may not be held accountable down here, but trust me, somebody watching them and they going to have to answer to it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
At the end
Because
of
it
the day,
catches up with you. It catches up with you.
that
Karma will
karma,
catch up with
baby,
you.
that karma is, yeah, know that. It may not come right now, but trust me, it's coming.
It's coming. That's true. That is true. All right. And so now, before we come start, you know what I'm saying, start kind of wrapping up, I want to know, so because just in case anybody want to know, just in case, what are you looking for in a person, and if somebody wanted to take you on a first date or to begin a new situation with you, how would they have to present themselves to you for you know what I'm saying, to for it to feel like it's a good, genuine situation that you would want to pursue?
Mm. In that aspect, mm, I would have to say, because the thing is like this. I'm a very like I said, I'm a very friendly, easygoing person, but at the same time, like my energy is high. So sometimes, like I have people tell me that I'm intimidating.
Mm-hmm.
So when it comes to a dating aspect, I wanted to be where literally I want something like fancy where I get real cute because I like to wear my heels. I'm not really a tennis shoe girl.
Right.
Hey Oliver. Ooh, I like Juice. Hey Juice. But yeah, I'm more of a dressy. I like to be cute.
Mm-hmm.
And so I would want to go to a real, like, not necessarily high class, because like you don't gotta be rich. It ain't nothing where you gotta just be this big boss, you know what I'm saying? But at the
Right.
same time, you gotta you gotta have a little bit more. You gotta have a little bit more. And I say that just because I had ooh. Okay,
What?
Oliver, level up then, girl.
Oh, it's the level up for me. And at my new show, it's the level up in my new show for me.
Hey,
Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you.
so
I
out.
know we recording. I know we recorded. I just wanted to say thank you. Oh, it's the level up for me. We gonna celebrate directly. So directly after the show, I want you to hop in the box and we're gonna celebrate. Directly after we start recording this show. Absolutely. Yes, we're gonna celebrate. Yes. Okay. I'm
Period.
listening, baby. I'm
Yes.
sorry. Thank y'all.
But
Thank you.
yeah, so I want to go to like a really it don't even have to be a restaurant because I'm not even gonna lie. I'm the type of person I want to go to the park. We lay out some blankets, we get us some candles, get like a hookah or something.
Mhm.
Um and just chill. You know what I'm saying? Like really chill out. I don't want it to be where because people are so used to this movie like theory of a date
Mhm.
to the point where you like, oh, I want roses on my bed. I want, you know what I'm saying? It ain't gotta be all of that. That is when we get into the real dating part of the relationship.
Right.
Because when it comes to something like that, that is how people get what word am I looking for? It becomes mixed signals.
Right.
Start sending mixed signals because it's like you doing one thing, but you talking about something else.
Mhm.
So once you, I'm good. How are you, Cuddle Bear? So once you start sending certain signals, it's like, okay, now we got to reevaluate and figure out what worked for me and what worked for them. Because I'm the
Right.
type of person, I'm fair. It's not just about me. Even though you're taking me on a date, I want to know what your likes and your dislikes are too. Because if we're
Right.
doing a date in the park, that means that we're going to find little knick-knack things to put in our little, snacks
That
and
could be
little
really
cute
cute.
stuff.
Ooh, like have little baskets and we collect things
Or a
along the way.
charcuterie board. Yeah.
Yeah. That's cute.
That would
Yeah, and
like
they
a little
have little like
rainbow
little
party.
takeaways, little trinkets that we can take away. Because have you ever had a momentum? I be seeing those romantic movies, reading those romantic books, and they be talking about momentums from their first date or first encounters, things like that. And I'm like, what will be a momentum? Because even the engagement rings I gave back. So what would be the momentum? Like
I'm trying to
your
told you, I
shoes
don't
that you
know.
forgot,
That's definitely a
right? Like that don't
conversation.
seem like a
That's
momentum.
definitely a
That seems like a
topic.
token of love.
Yeah, because I haven't. Like, and it's crazy because like I was actually talking to this girl and we wasn't even really talking. It was more so of sexual endeavors. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Mm-hmm.
But like she started getting too close to the point where
Mm-hmm.
like you start buying me stuff. And I'm like, listen, I'm like, just future references. Like when you're trying to date somebody, you don't start off by buying them things. I said, because then they're not into it for you. They're into it for the things that you're providing for them. And then guess what? They're gonna continue to be like, hey baby, how your day going? What you doing? Boo boo boo. Just because that's how
Right.
they got you is by materialistic things. You know, and that's where a lot of people mess up at. You start out with a friendship, and because you feel like that's your friend or whatever the case is, now you start offering stuff that you know you can't keep up.
Mm.
And that's the issue.
So
Because
right. So my thing about buying things is don't do more than you can afford emotionally, mentally, or financially. Right? Don't start giving somebody something that you know you can't really afford. And when you know you can't afford it is when you have expectations that are connected to it. When you are gifting someone something because you have expectations of a relationship or expectations of intimacy or expectations in any way, then you are giving more than you can afford. You're
and the
doing too
reason
much.
how I knew that it was her intentions was unpure is
Mm-hmm.
because literally the day she bought the gift, she was supposed to bring it to me. Never came with the gift. But it was just like it was other questions that was coming behind why she didn't want to give it to me. So I eventually asked her, I said, is it because I haven't slept with you as to why you didn't bring me what you said you had for me? Because every
Mm-hmm.
time the conversation came up, that was her rebuttal. She like, when you gonna give me some?
Oh, what?
And I'm like, I'm not having sex with you for no gift. Like, who do you think I am?
Right.
So
But people will try to buy access from you, and not even just in monetary things. People will try to use their power, status, connections, and networking opportunities to buy access to you and be thinking that they deserve it without even really investing. And they don't even really want, like, because it makes you wonder, do they really want to be with you, or do they just enjoy that access that they get from you?
exactly.
Because if you get me a gift or you get me something or you do something for me out of the kindness of your heart, then you do it because you want to do it. So it shouldn't matter what I don't do and don't do. So that way, when I do something out of return, it is appreciated because it was genuine. So it makes you feel special as well. Because how often do we, you know what I'm saying, really feel good when somebody thinks of us, when somebody does something kind? That feeling, we just want to give the opportunity to give that to someone else as well. But it
Mm-hmm.
has to be natural. You have to go with the flow. You have to know when your too much is. And a lot of people are trying to sell the dream that they see on TV and social
And it's
media,
not
but they
happening.
cannot even afford to close their eyes to see that same dream. And they need to live in their reality and just love from their reality and love somebody in reality, and they will wind up finding exactly what they want and what they deserve and what they're looking for, and they can work towards that dream. You can have the dream. You don't have to have it the day or tomorrow. We can work towards it. But you know what I'm saying, invest what you can, what you know you can afford, and we can work towards. Give us something to build towards.
Yes, and that was the thing
Like,
for me. It's like she was overly doing stuff because then like a week after that, you start texting me talking about you trying to figure out how to like pay your light bill or whatever. And I'm just like, that's wild to me. You went and bought all this stuff and did all of this stuff, and now you don't got the money to pay your light bill. Like what? I just be
mm,
like, people
your
priorities,
priority.
yeah, be messed up. Like it's really sad because it's like even being on just networking and doing different things, it's like know when to hold and when to fold. You ain't gotta be like everybody else. Be yourself. And that's
That's
the
a fact.
main problem that people have. You so focused on what somebody else is gonna think and what their persona is of you. If you love you, nobody else's persona don't matter. And I'm so in love with me to the point where I be telling people I'm popping.
Mm-hmm.
I'm that girl. And it ain't nothing you could tell me that's gonna change my mind. That's why my
Right.
skin it glows on purpose.
Ooh.
Period.
Tell them about it. So the skin glow on purpose. What else?
Period.
Tell them about it.
Yeah, you gotta live a stress-free lifestyle. If something is not
Absolutely.
bringing you peace, you gotta let it go. And that's
Yes.
period. And
Yes.
the only person that can stress me out is my son. If you're not Malachi Simmons, you can't don't stress me. Leave me alone.
But we don't want to say the same thing. But yes. So now I'm gonna say this. So knowing what you've encountered, knowing who you are, what you deserve, that you are the queen that you are. So what are you now looking for? What are your requirements? the minimum that they have to know and they have to bring.
You can't. First of all, I need a man that is like, you got to know what you want. Because like I tell people out the gate, I'm an aggressive being. So unless your aggression like overly matches mine, it's gonna be hard to like really take me, because you're gonna think that everything I do is to be unsubmissive or whatever the case is, and that's not the case. Also, because I have a special needs baby, I have to take into consideration like, okay, that has to be something that you want to do. There has to be something that you're okay with taking on, because he has a lot going on. So that's my biggest issue. And that has been my biggest downfall over the years. I had guys that, they wanted to date me, but because of my son, respectfully, leave me where I'm at.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people can't. Like when he started going back and forth to the hospital and he's there for weeks at a time, that's a lot for anybody. So I'm not going to force nothing on nobody, but I'm going to let you know out the gate, this is what I'm dealing with. And it's your choice as the man to take it or to say, you know what, sweetheart, listen, I don't think, I really like your energy. I like your vibes. But as far as this dating, it's not going to work.
Right. And be honest about that.
Be honest about it. Because then when it gets to a point where you're not honest, now it makes me aggressive. And now you looking at me like I'm crazy. But I told you from the beginning, like, I don't know if you thought I was lying, if you thought it was a joke, if you thought we was on pranked or something. Because, baby, you have been booted off the island. You are the weakest link. Okay.
Thank you.
Got to go.
Next. She went right into the title of the show real quick. Thank you, next. Because that's what we on. Bye-bye to the past. We're not repeating mistakes. We're not going backwards. Thank you, next. If you're not what we're looking for or what we want, thank you, next.
And also, you got to have some goals. Like, you got to have a plan. Like, my 5-year plan right now is immaculate. So if you don't have a plan, I don't know. Like, what are we doing?
Right. We're playing patty cake.
At this point.
And even the baker's man.
And I don't feel like playing Russian roulette. So find somebody else to play that game. Because I don't want to play it.
Right.
Okay.
Find somebody else
to a whole nother year. We're not doing that. And then furthermore, you have to have something. You cannot be living with your mama. You cannot, like, I've and I say that because I was talking to this guy, and literally I understand when you're going through a divorce, depending on where y'all was at financially in that divorce, it gets bad. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. So I'm not knocking that, but it's like, okay, bro, how long you been living with your mama? You know what I'm saying? How long is it gonna take you?
Now you got comfortable. Because you literally left your mama. Because usually what happened was they left their mama and got in their marriage. They tried to make their wife their mama, left their wife and went back to their mama. And now you comfortable with your mama and trying to repeat these same patterns. And then you trying to take me through the same cycle.
Working.
Because you're not going to make me your mama.
Yeah, and it be so crazy because literally this guy, we had a whole argument because you're going to tell me, I'm looking for my mom inside of a woman. That's dumb. That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Like, why would you want a woman that resembles your mom? That's weird. Right. You now in my mind, it's like you sleeping with your mama, like a replica of your mother. And as much as you may say, oh, you overthinking it, no, baby, that's weird. I don't want no dude that got the same energy as my daddy. Like, what?
Right. And then not only that, you want to be your own person, be loved for who you are. You don't want to have following, because you're following in that person's shadow when they try to put you in that box. So whenever you don't do what that person would do, then they're like, oh, why are you not doing that? My mama wouldn't do that. No, wait a minute. And it's really giving mama's boy at the door.
Yeah.
It's really giving, you need to heal from the time that she, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, didn't show you enough love or something. Yeah.
Right. Like, because for whatever reason, your separation anxiety from your mama trying to make me a reincarnation of her is not okay.
It's not working.
It's not cute. Not okay.
You are the weakest link. Like, and that's why I be saying, like, it'd be so crazy because you could tell a mama's boy from a mile away. Like, come on, seriously.
So let's talk about it. So, because the name of the show is exactly how it go. Thank you next. So, what are some characteristics, some traits, or type of men that you just like? 2023, not for me. Thank you next. That you want to tell them, give them their walking papers now, and you want to tell them thank you next. And I challenge y'all in the comments as well to go ahead and put in the comments the type of person, whether male, female, however, that you want to say thank you next to going in 2023. Going in 2023, you want to say thank you next. What I did and what I went through, I'm not going through no more. Yes. What I used to think was acceptable is not acceptable anymore. At all. I want you to go ahead and tell me your thank you next situation in these comments. Let us know. But Big Lee, what are you saying thank you next to in 2023?
Girl, I am saying thank you next to I'm saying thank you next to all the drama, to all the procrastination, to all the lies, to all the manipulation, the narcissistic tactics, like, yeah, the control, the mechanism that you gotta think that you think you're using to control somebody next, not happening. We're not doing that. It's a new year. It's time for new ventures. It's time to work on building your credit, getting your mind in order, getting your life straight, and everything else will fall in place. But as long as you're not right up here, you're never going to be where you want to be physically. Your life isn't going to match because your mental is having a whole party of its own. And everything starts with your mind. If you are not using your mind in a positive aspect, you're going to always have negative entities. But if you wake up in the morning and you say, girl, I'm going to have a good day today. All positive affirmations. And it's like, since I moved into my new place, I've been just working on really getting to know me. Like, I'm already a great person, but I know it's still a lot of things that I do have to work on before I just solely be like, okay, yes, this is what we doing. You know what I'm saying? And that's just what it is. Because like I said, I'm aggressive. But sometimes, like, I know I could overly stimulate or whatever the case is, but it ain't even on purpose. It's like if you say something and it rubbed me the wrong way because I be so passionate about what I'm saying, it sounds like I'm screaming at people and I'm not. I'm just letting you know this is what it is and this is what it ain't gonna be. Right. I'm not your yes man. I'm not riding nobody bandwagon. We not doing that. I'm sorry. If you doing something that makes me uncomfortable, I'm gonna tell you. We are grown. We are not 2 and 3 years old. If you cannot take the full effect of what I'm saying to you out my mouth without getting offensive, you know what? Have at it, baby.
Right.
Because at this point, I'm not going to goo goo gaga talk to you. We're not doing that. Like, you wanted me to be like, listen, so, what you said, it kind of rubbed me the wrong way. No, listen, because when you said it, you didn't care. So guess what? When I come to you about how I feel about it, I'm not going to care. Because now at this point, you've rubbed me in the wrong way. And now you trying to deflect is what you were doing. You know what I'm saying? The situation to try to make it seem like that somebody did something wrong to you. No, we're not going to do that. And that goes back to accountability. You have to hold yourself accountable for something. You know what I'm saying? And I'm a true believer that when relationships do not work out, both parties played a part in something. It's something that us as humans, and people love to holler about, no, I'm good. I love me. Baby, calm down. Nobody never said that you didn't love yourself. But what I am saying is, us as human beings, we still have things that we have to work on. Every 10 years is a different person. And you don't even realize it until that 10-year mark comes.
Right.
You're a different person every 10 years, you evolve.
Right.
But if you're not evolving, that means you're not changing. That means that you do not care. That means that you want to forever be by yourself. Because if you're in this mind state of, oh, well, this is how this should go, or this is how that should go, it's not going to go that way, baby. I'm sorry. It's not happening. You could try to convince yourself as much as you want to that these are the things that you want, but you have to put the work in. You have to put the work in. You can't just sit here and say, oh, I want this and I want that. and not put the work in, because then at that point you're losing.
Mm-hmm.
You're losing. And then whoever you decide to talk to, now you're going to put that toxic energy off on them, and they ain't did
Mm-hmm.
nothing to you.
Right.
And it's like, you can't live like that. You will never, your life won't be your own if you continue to go into situations with a mind state of, oh, he should do this and he should do that. Okay, so what are you doing to make him feel at ease? What are you
Mm-hmm.
doing to make him feel comfortable about whatever it is that he got going on within himself? Because
Mm-hmm.
it matters. It's a two-way street. It's not a one-way road. Just because you're
That's
the woman and he's the man, it does not make him more than you. No. So now you want him to build you up, but you tearing him down.
mm-hmm.
That's not how that go. And that's how come a lot of marriages, a lot of relationships, they fail, because you don't have no accountability. You're not
You're
holding
not
yourself
pouring into
accountable.
each other.
Yeah, and you're not working together. You're not learning how to compromise. Because when you're in
Mm-hmm.
situations like that, you have to make compromises. And
Right.
I always, no matter what I'm doing in life, whether it's a friendship, a relationship, my limit is 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
Within 6 months, if I have not seen no type of like progression within the friendship or the relationship, it's time to go.
Right.
You have to, it's time for something else, because it's like at this point, it's like we'll be a whole year into our relationship and still no change. And it's like, what are we really doing here for each other? What are we
Right.
like? What is the benefit here? What are we doing besides looking at each other and sleeping with each other and not having a care in the world? It's not, no, we're not doing that,
That's
because now you're
like
just
that.
wasting your time.
Right. Hello. Y'all make sure y'all hit Big Leak with the favorite. Hit Big Leak with the favorite. Big, not the little one. Big Leak. New to streaming, new to the, you know what I'm saying? New to the platform. She streams off of POF, but you can view her from all the platforms just by searching her name. Big Leak. Hello. She's new here, but
Hello.
she's true to this. And I love and I appreciate her story and her vulnerability and taking the time to really kind of share and open up with us. And also open up with us because you are new to streaming. What are some things that even if you don't have worked on yet, what are some things you would like to accomplish? And what are some things you would like to bring to your stream? And so what people should look out for from you. And when
Okay,
do you
so
stream as well? When do you
because I
post?
just started
Mhm.
streaming, I am gonna start doing a lot of different things. Like I do have to
Okay.
change my profile too, because I've been talking to a lot of different like admins and different stuff like that that's been kind of just helping me build my platform.
Right.
Um, but yeah, I do every week I'll be doing something different. Like definitely on Fridays is my crazy
Mhm.
days. So it'd be demon time. You coming out on
Ooh.
Fridays, you be on demon time. So that's just how it go. But I definitely like to have topics and discussions um
Mhm.
just about anything, because people come
Mhm.
on this app to get away. They come on here to just free their mind of life. So you
Mhm.
don't know what's going on behind that camera while you sitting here being nasty to people and making it seem like that the world is all on your back. We got stuff on
Mhm.
our back too. But I'm not out here being
Absolutely.
nasty to people because I'm having a bad day. If you having a bad day,
Absolutely.
just stay off of the app. But
Right.
don't
Keep it
bring
to
your
yourself.
negative energy into my life.
Keep it to
Zuda.
yourself. I love that. So y'all already know. So stay tuned and stay locked in with Big Leap. She has more
Period.
things to come. So she's working out, ideas, shows, and updating her profile, so that way you know what to expect with her. And she said Fridays be popping. She said if you don't like spicy, you gonna need to bring some ranch,
I'm trying to
cause
tell
it's
you, a little blue
definitely
cheese. Cause baby, it
yeah,
get
it's
real
definitely gonna be
spicy in that
spicy in
thing.
there.
You might need a
Absolutely,
cup of milk.
absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Ooh, okay. Hello, ghost peppers. Okay, it's giving Carolina ghost peppers. I'm with it. Okay, she said, bring your milk. Bring your milk. Okay, and
Hello.
she looking for somebody who knows what they want and who's ready to put in the work for what they want. And she is open and ready. You know what I'm saying? She is single. And hopefully more relationships to come. Hello.
Hello.
Period. Catching flights, not feelings. I love it. So,
Hello.
y'all, I would like to thank you all for coming out to Thank You Next. Oh, bless me. All right,
Bless
we're going
you.
to take that out. But I would like to thank you all for coming out to Thank You Next. In the first episode of Thank You Next with our special guest, Big Leak. Hello, make sure you hit it with the favorite.
Big league, not the little one. Let's go.
Yeah. Make sure you fave all the gifters. You see our top 3 gifters of the show. Hello, we got Honey Bow. Hello, Oliver Juice. We got Pleasant P. Hello. We have Zuda, Original Guru. We have Pretty Muñeca. Hello, and we have Big Leak, Harley Baby, and Explicit. Yes, thank you all. Thank you all. Thank you all. Thank you all. Thank you all for your love for the first episode. It is not go unnoticed. We can go ahead. Okay, absolutely. Now we can go ahead and stop recording. Let me know.